Hey everybody, I am so excited to be here with you guys today on this, well, it is snowing outside. I don't know about you, but it is exhausting to hear how everybody is going for all of these amazing walks in the parks and, doing all this yard work, which we have done a little bit. But here in Michigan, we are waking up still to like 28, 32 degree weather in the morning and possibly getting to about 45, maybe 50. This week for sure, we've only been hitting like 45 tops. We did have a couple of weeks last week that we did hit like 65 and it was amazing and the whole state was out. But for the most part, it's still chilly here. So quarantine is especially hard in the northern states, I should say. And I thought that I would just come on here to give you guys a brief update on how I'm doing and how my family is doing and a couple of things that have helped us for sure get through this long quarantine. So a little backdate. Actually, yesterday was both of my sons. I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, and myself's 31st day. So they got out of school on the 12th. They didn't go back that day, the 12th or the 13th, one of the two. And so we have been pretty much home ever since then. So we are on our 30th day, almost a full month into quarantine or stay at home pretty much. We haven't completely quarantined. I am still going to grocery stores for about 2 weeks after that. My husband was still going to work. He has now been officially laid off indefinitely. And so he's been now at home for about 3 weeks. So that is where we're at. We are definitely, of course, running out of fun things to do and, or making it fun and making it interesting on top of the cold weather does not help. So I wanted to come on here and give you a couple of my top 5 things that are definitely helping me and my family get through this tough time. And hopefully will help you guys. I didn't want to make a huge long list. There isn't a huge long list, but there are quite a few small things that have definitely helped me, especially now with homeschooling and everything else in this process. So first things first, I have been doing pretty well with the quarantine. I have not had that many bad days. I've had a few bad days, but for the most part, I have been staying pretty busy. Y'all have been just a blessing in disguise, helping me get through all this. I did amp my YouTube schedule up to hopefully every other day. As you can see, if you go back into a few of my videos and my schedule, you'll see that I have went 2 days, some here. Actually, right now we are on a 3-day, and that is because probably I have had a couple of harder days. That and with the holiday, I wasn't filming, but I am also pretty busy in my Etsy shop, which I am so grateful for. Community, you guys in the YouTube community and in the Etsy and the planner community have been absolutely amazing, and visiting my shop, ordering things on top of just the regular people ordering, so definitely has kept me busier than normal there. On top of now, I know a lot of parents are homeschooling, and that has kept us busy from about 10 to 2 is when we do our homeschool. So definitely not bored out of my mind by no means, but there are some times where obviously we are, like I said, getting to about 25 days, I think, about 20 days, I think, me and my husband being stuck in the house together. And that is a complete 360 for us. Most of the time in our normal life, I would see my husband at night in bed pretty much just for a few hours. When he got home from work about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., somewhere in there when we put the kids to bed. And we would get about an hour to hour and a half to just chill out and then right back up in the morning, and I wouldn't see him again until 9, 10 o'clock that night. Having all day, every day together was like a blessing in disguise. Obviously, we've never spent so much time as a family together. The boys have been soaking it up with that. So that has been fun. But obviously, I think everybody is worried about marriages and everything right now. We've been doing fine. But the few things that I have learned and that we've actually both learned, is when we need space, give each other space. And our house is wonderful for that, as our whole bedroom is on the top floor. Our main floor is obviously our main main floor, and then we do have a finished basement in the bottom. It's not a big house, but it is separated quite well. So our family is able to kind of get away from each other when they need a little bit of space. And obviously the boys have both of their bedrooms. One other thing though that has definitely helped with maybe the noise of the house, or when I just need to like zone people out, are headphones. I have the Sony MDR. I'll try and get that for you guys. If not, I will link it below. My husband bought these for me about 2 years ago, and I really never used them all that much until recently. Anyways, with editing and all that kind of stuff, I had been using them a lot. But I am telling you, during this quarantine, these things are getting used. You can't really hear anything when you put these things on. I mean, it's muffled, but yep, you can't hear too much. Plus with the sound in it. And this way I can kind of just block out what everybody else is saying and, you know, go about my own life. I can listen to my YouTube videos. I can listen to podcasts. I can listen to anything. Music, anything that I kind of. So definitely get yourself one of these if you can, if you have the money. This is probably one of the most expensive things, maybe one other thing too, on my list, because I am trying to keep this very budget related, as we obviously are living on just unemployment at this point. So I am trying to keep my whole list budget related, or finding things in my house that I'm kind of like loving again or using for the first time that I had like put off to the side in a drawer. Next, obviously going from paychecks to no paychecks, coffee was X'd out of that. So I was a huge Big B coffee drinker, but without a paycheck, and not being able to go out, or not wanting to go out to just get a coffee, because that is obviously not essential, I definitely had to find something different. So I had to find a new avenue of coffee. I've never been a at-home coffee drinker. I've always loved my lattes, so the espresso with milk, like frothed milk. I don't have an espresso machine. I don't have any milk frothers. This was not the time to go out and buy one, because those things are freaking expensive. But one day maybe is probably been a great investment for people like me at this point, if I would have had one earlier. So I definitely was, when I went to the grocery store, I was on a mission to find like a gourmet coffee that would make me happy inside. Fun too. This Green Mountain caramel vanilla cream coffee has been absolutely amazing. This is pretty much what I've been living off of. It's not that expensive. I did have the 24 pack, 19, I think. The $12 pack was a little bit more expensive because it's a littler pack. I have been finding it on Amazon for a little bit cheaper, but not too much cheaper. So in regards of keeping things cheaper, I have been trying to maybe find something different and maybe go ground coffee. I went on to find this cinnamon roll Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Everybody, hopefully this is focusing for you guys. I'll leave it in a few different ways and get my head out of it. But this has also been amazing. I've tried this once. It was delicious, and I have been putting the Starbucks Dulce Leche syrup into my coffee also, just to give it that much more like gourmet coffee-ish feel to it. But definitely get yourself a good coffee, even a good coffee mug. So I have this one. It holds about almost 20 ounces of coffee. I think I put up to like 14 ounces. If I didn't have the coffee in the morning, guys, I don't know if I'd make it through the day sometimes. So definitely get yourself a gourmet coffee if you are a coffee drinker. And I don't know about you, but I am not one to kind of sit around and binge on Netflix shows. I kind of wish I was at point. I would love to binge a Netflix show, but I can usually only get through like 1 or 2 at this point before I feel like I need to get up and do something, or I lose interest in it, or I just feel very unproductive. And I'm not saying that I am being completely productive. I have barely touched my photography business. Like I said, you guys have been keeping me busy in my Etsy business, but I'm going to say if I probably didn't have orders, I probably wouldn't be that productive there either. So I have set out to find a few like hobbies, I guess I should say, not even hobbies, but productive things to do. Not even productive. Okay, let's just skip all of that. Not even productive, just things to pass the time, but also accomplish something. I think there's the word. So pass the time, but also accomplish something so that I feel productive. And a few of those things have been coloring pages. I know that a lot of people are not into those, but I know there's a ton that are. My best friend is actually on the front lines of COVID right now, fighting in one of our hospitals. And if you know anything or watched way vlogs before this, you'll know that she has always left little positive affirmations in my office. And one day I got to thinking like, oh my God, this is the perfect time for me to pay her back. So I started printing out all of these type of things, and I am coloring this for her. Hopefully she doesn't see this. I am doing that. We are sending cards down to my grandparents in Florida. We're sending cards to people that are are stuck in nursing homes and all that kind of stuff. So I know that is a big thing, but I did just kind of start this because, like I said, I was being pretty productive and we were having better weather. This week has just been a whole week of not good weather. So we've been stuck inside just a little bit more. So definitely look into those type of things. Send your healthcare workers, especially if you have one. I can't do anything, unfortunately, for her monetarily at this point because of my situation, but she is very big into this type of thing, and I know that she will love it. The next thing that I have been doing, and that I am so glad that I have started before this, is memory keeping. So I am in a stayology actually half year. I only have 6 months in this. And it is just blank note pages, as you can see here. So I don't have to do, there goes all my stuff. So I don't have to do every day. But as you can see, I definitely have been wanting to document this for myself and my children. This is unfortunately a historic moment in history that people will talk about for many, many years. And I just want them to know what they were going through. I don't know exactly if my children understand the magnitude of what is going on just because they have been at home for so long, and we are not ones to dwell on the news too much. We watch it sometimes, but I can't take the negativity all of the time. So I have been doing a memory planner to help them document each day. I have been filling them in like when the governor did stay-at-home orders and everything for them, and kind of what we've been doing on those days. Plus it is a point of communication for me to get my thoughts out. I haven't been doing like cold hard journaling and that, but definitely getting some of the feelings out when I'm having worse days. The next thing I have also been doing, which I honestly have just picked this up this week, is using my iPad for YouTube tutorials on watercoloring, which is something that I have been interested for a while in doing. Just never had the time, never had the patience, never picked it up. I just don't have the time, unfortunately, during real life. And I thought, what better way right now? I am going to link right up here the girl that I have been following. I know there's probably many more. So if you have more, let me know in the comments below. My son has also been following the son and daughter combo, doing drawing tutorials there. We've been doing just a few during homeschooling for art and all that kind of stuff. Those are really fun to do together as a family. So I'm really bad at it, but I can show you real quick my first little watercolor. Hopefully you guys can see this. But there is like my first watercolor of some sunflowers. I have a lot of work to do, but that's something that I threw together. And honestly, that was the most relaxing thing that I had done last night. I was pretty frustrated with my silhouette, my cutting machines. They were getting on my nerves, and I just needed to like decompress. So the last thing on my list of things that I wanted just to let you guys know that are making my family and my life easier during this quarantine is getting obviously new board games. I don't know if you have tried or if your kids are into board games, but my family is into board games. We do love playing. We haven't made it a priority in the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks, but in the beginning of this quarantine, we were playing games probably every night. We have started getting back into it. But one thing that I have found is finding games that are classic games with a spin. We are introducing, obviously, my 7-year-old to a lot of the classic games, some of my 12-year-old also, but things like Monopoly, he cannot get through. My 12-year-old can't either. Practically, I can't either, making it like a 2-day game. So we did get Monopoly voice banking. For Christmas, this is amazing for children. It is super easy to understand. The voice tells you everything. You don't have to deal with the money. There's not 1,000,000,000 parts that you can lose. This has been one of our favorites, and my kids' favorites too. Then for Easter, I went down the game aisle and found Uno Flip. My 7-year-old is Uno obsessed. He loves Uno Flip, Uno Flash, Uno everything. So when I found that there was a new one, I definitely picked this up, and last night we gave this a first play, and my kids loved it. You like go from the light side, the classic Uno side, and flip it over to the dark side, which gives you like draw fives and wild cards that you play, that you say a color and they have to draw until they get that color. Really fun, just a spin on a classic game to make it brand new. Definitely a favorite. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this helped you. Definitely, I will leave all of the links in my Amazon store below, or if I can't find it on Amazon, I will definitely link it to wherever I can find it. Hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and if you'd like this type of one-on-one videos, definitely hit that thumbs up button, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.